I don't tend to think of death as particularly final, because really death is a liberation. My view of things is that death is the last and best reward for a life well lived. Death is where the adventure starts, as far as I can see.
Comes the time when the blind man takes your...
What's up? Look who it is.
Hi, pal.
How you doing, man?
I miss you.
You too, man. Wow.
Yeah.
So much has happened
Yeah.
since
Sure.
we last did a podcast together, at least.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about it. We did, I think June 24 was maybe the last time we did one, but we did that impromptu DDP interview thing in Vegas, remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And we ended up just sitting there, like, kind of telling our collective life story, like our friendship story together.
DDP, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was actually in touch with them recently just because of, like, you know, New Year's resolutions and getting back into the working out and all that. And I called and was like, can you help me? Can you help me feel the
Jen
bang?
told me. She was so psyched.
Yeah.
Oh, man. DDP went through it too, man. I mean, you know.
I know.
It's a hard time for everybody's going through stuff, but it brings this clarity, you know. So
Yeah.
um,
Well, it brings us here, right?
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, when Bob passed, it just like caught all of us completely off guard. A lot of people thought that I knew, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
And it you know.
Well, I hit you up immediately because of just odd things that were happening. And, you know, I was out on the road. I did Atlanta Symphony Hall that night, and we were across the street in the hotel. I got out of the shower probably about 5:00 and hit my phone, and it says, you know, it's the post from Bob's official Instagram saying that he had passed. And then I was like, that's not, it was just one of these things where I was kind of like, no. Like anger first in a way, but not anger at anything, just more like, you gotta be kidding. No.
Yeah,
No.
it's already enough bad happening, and then
Right.
really just gonna come up and just like, whoosh,
Yeah.
a nice personalized one for you, you know.
Yep. And it's like, here's the thing that makes you real happy and you know, is such a huge part of everything. And I think I texted you, like, not a lot has changed because I listen every day, but it's now the music feels like hymnals or like,
Yeah.
you know, like something different. So I'm in the hotel and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then I get a text from the show manager. We were doing the Symphony Hall that night, and they go, stay in your hotel. The power just went out. And the power went out only in the Symphony Hall, no other buildings on the block. And then they text back and go, oh wait, the power's back on. So it just like flickered on and off, and they're like, we don't know what happened. And I'm like, I do. Right?
I think I have
Yeah.
a little inkling.
So I just kind of sat there and tried to process it, you know, and I was real sad. And I called our tour manager, and I knew Bobby played that symphony. I'm always, every time I go to a venue, I'm always, did the Dead play here? Did the Dead play here? Did, you know, like,
Yeah.
because I'm fascinated by that. And Bobby did the symphony orchestra there like 2 years before. And I called our tour manager and I said, you know, it's Saturday night. Can you just have one more Saturday night played over the PA when I'm walking out on stage? And started at like 56 seconds, because that's really when Bobby kind of belts out that one more Saturday night. And I just wanted to like walk out onto the stage into a cloud of Bobby. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I could hear a couple people clapped a little extra long and like yelled, like, you know.
It's
And,
always great because the deadheads in the audience, they're always, you know who they are.
Exactly, dude. You could be at DMV and you know where the deadheads are. And And I just felt like that set was kind of like, you know, important, and it felt like effortless kind of, and it went really
Yeah.
well. Um, got off stage, and I looked right to the side of the stage, man. And there's his set lists from those shows taped on the wall. And
Nice.
it was just
Oh,
the adrenaline from the set and all of it. And I see Overture, Shakedown Street, Lost Sailor, and I just got all welled up. And I went down into the dressing room, and then I'm thinking he was probably sitting in here,
yeah.
right? And then I got even more, and then I called
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
called you immediately. You're like the first person that I wanted to talk to.
Man, what a trip, dude. What a trip. I'm so glad it happened for you that way. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
It's one of those things of, you know, so many synchronicities, just crazy things have been happening when I'm feeling like really dark, you know,
Yeah.
but then something cool happens, you know, you look and you see the set list there, you know, it's just like,
Of all the set lists to see, you know, it just
yeah, man,
happens
you
to
know,
be-
like,
yeah.
so I'm sorry, I ascribe meaning to those things. I don't feel like they're
Yeah.
just whatever, you know. It's little things that help us make lemonade constantly.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, and then there's the realizations start to hit, you know, and that San Francisco was the last shows that he played, you know?
Yeah.
And, I was out there for that, and I was so happy and watching you and Trey and everyone playing, and the music seemed so extra special that night, you know?
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you about that. Like those three, like they all feel special, but was that something like, did you kind of have a feeling of something's up?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I had no idea about Bob's health situation other than I think someone told me that he had like dental surgery, you know, and his mouth he was having trouble with like spit and stuff, you know. So I suspect that was actually the truth. I don't know if that was just the party line or whatever. So I knew that he, you know, I didn't know that he had missed rehearsal because he was having cancer treatment, which could cause all that too. Like I'd never been through it. I hear it damn near kills you, you know. So I tried to watch Touch of Grey because I hadn't even thought about what the last song was, you know. It just came up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get through friggin' even a full minute, probably not 30 seconds of it. Because now that I knew that, but I know now, I just was like, I had to stop.
Yeah.
And like, wow, it would have been. But even so, that night, because it was Grateful Dead 60, you know me, man, you never know when the last one was. And I thought, and Bob didn't make rehearsal, you know, and he's been kind of elderly for a while, you know, and so you never, you know, Bill pass, you know, and it just it's all right here all the time, as Bob talked about with us on our podcast.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely had the sense. I had the sense that he felt they were all floating right there, that like they were, you know, for support or just to witness or just because this is their baby, you know, all the people that had already passed, you know. You feel that when he's singing every single time. You know, it could be rehearsal, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely had, it was a heavy feeling, not in a bad way, but in a somber, there's definitely some somber, some melancholy, some, you know, but always the joy. And that's why I hope people focus on, like, you know, if you're that sad, it's only because it was that good. Only because you were that blessed. Like how broken you are, blessed that much.
Yeah.
You know, so
well,
I got to be thankful for that, right?
Right. And it's the little messages that I'm seeing online and wherever these days. Like someone had it was like a hand drawing, almost like a Snoopy cartoon. And it was just a picture of like a piece of paper that you'd probably write need one extra ticket. And it was like leaned against a cooler. And it said, don't be sad that it's over. Be grateful you were there.
Yeah. That didn't happen.
And that one sentence, I mean, this has been a week of, how do I put it? Like little bursts of crying.
Yeah.
I've had my sobbing moment, like, watching the watching Chloe just, and Mayor, I mean, and everybody, I mean, it was just really that whole thing. I was just alone in my hotel in Knoxville, just like sobbing.
Good thing, right?
Yeah.
The one time we'd like to be alone in a hotel in Knoxville.
Yeah,
just an ugly crying.
Yeah, seriously. Just bringing like extra rolls of toilet paper to my bed, just to sob for a Bob Weir. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just like these little that I think about, and it brought us together.
Yeah,
like this second round, this unexpected round of Grateful Dead. Life, the road, I think Rosie McGee said phase 1 ended in 95, phase 2 ended in 2026, phase 3 starts today, and where does it go from here? But phase 2, man, I mean, it you and I have known each other now for about a decade, I think.
Isn't that crazy? Like, dude, Nigel's going to be driving my car in 4 years.
It's insane.
That decade just went like...
Yeah.
Me and Jess were talking about it as we stood at Grateful Dead 50 in Santa Clara. Trying to just like... I can't even imagine...
Buddy.
That this could be somehow normal, And then as we're, flying home... or just even on the way to the airport yesterday, it's an unbelievable sunrise, man. And we thought, wow, that seems like it just went whoop, beginning, end, like, whoa, so fast, man. But boy, did we pack a lot in there, man. This is the point, man. If anything can be learned from Bob, is to freaking go for it. Go for it, man.
Say yes.
Go for it.
Yep.
Because that 10 years went like that. Nigel's so tough. It's over, But man, if you could go back to our photo album, you and me, with the kids, with a different, yeah, man, we did it. We truly did live like we had 6 months.
6 months. Still am, dude. I didn't forget about that. More than ever. And
more than ever.
More than ever. And I'll tell you, man, that the thought of, the aging thing has been on my mind quite a bit lately, and about how like I somehow feel younger than ever, but I'm also tired and whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm like,
why? That's because we're smarter. I was like, why do I feel so like inside? I'm like, God, I wish I knew. But you can't get this without experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you're smarter, you're like, okay, I know I'm going to do this. It's like you have all this energy, and then you get up to do it, and you're like, oh,
maybe tomorrow.
Slow down there, Fireball.
Lisa goes, I want to get another dog, and I'm like, I can't, please. I already got bad elbows from one dog. I don't need I can't handle it. But you're right, Bob. Jerry died when I was 15, and
wow, you were 15 then. I guess I was. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was 15, and well, shit, 14, 15. But I laid there from when I was like 8, 9, staring at the Grateful Dead family album and all the books and the pictures of the fields of people.
Yeah.
twirling and dancing, and the pictures of the Warfield and the pictures of the Greek. And I would just like, those were my lofty goals, were to one day be in that field and dance around to the Grateful Dead. And I would dream about it and all that. And Jerry died, and, you know, Fish, I got to do that with. But then it all hit me in San Francisco when Trey's covering Mission in the Rain. And if there was any collective, all of it together, my years, my 3 decades of seeing Fish, and now I'm in San Francisco, where it all started for the Dead, and seeing my guy play Jerry. I mean, it all just, I mean, talk about waterworks, but it was just like a happy celebration. It was like a rain after a drought or something, where I just felt like, and I looked around and everyone was feeling it. And it was just this moment of like, Mike, pay attention. Be here now for this moment.
For me too, man.
Be here now for this moment, because this is special. This is really special, you know. And it was like a collective of, I was texting with you, Paul Stamets and I were chatting back and forth. I'm like, are you here? And he's like, of course I am. And it just felt, we're all kids in their backyard for a day, you know. And it was just a beautiful, there was something about it. And then I think we all kind of looked at each other like, really glad you're here. Yeah. Really glad you're here. Everyone was happy for everyone else that we were there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew?
And whoever knows. That's why we have to do that every time. People go, how are you always so happy all the time? I'm like, well, it's rare. I have my moments when I'm not, but it's also intentional. I'm not faking it. I'm like, you know, man, I'm not an entertainer. There's one thing I cannot do. It's fake it.
Right.
I wish I could, because the people deserve that. But I think they would rather have the real thing for me anyway, you know?
Sure.
But it's like, it's still intentional. What if it's the last one? You know, with the Allman Brothers, we all knew what the last gig was going to be.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier to be here now on that one, because you could see it coming a mile away. You know, we knew exactly when it was, you know, and then we all were like, well, here we are. And
I never realized that was the case. I never realized that was the case with the Allmans.
But this, like every other time I said it on Comes a Time, you look back and you go, oh, that's the last gig I was ever going to play with them. Oh, Touch of Grey. That was the fan song. I remember what the fucking last song. You know, I don't. Like, I'm so in the moment. You know, like I don't remember what the very last song we played, because I thought there was more to come.
It ended with us. It ended with us yelling at you guys, "We will get by. We will survive."
And that's what I think about all the time. Now, we will get by. You know, when Kofi passed, I despaired. Will I ever have that peak? Because it's so telepathic with, but I don't care who you saw me with. If you didn't see me with Kofi, you really didn't see me all the way.
Yeah.
I can promise you. Yeah. People that have seen me with him were like, dude, I had no idea. I was like, well, you got to get us together like that. You know? Then it happens every time, you know? And I thought, will that ever happen again? And then after, you know, I kept gig, and I would have these peak moments with people. And I was like, yeah, you can have peak moments. It's not going to go away. I was talking about with another musician friend of mine. He said, every time you play, you're playing with Kofi, man. He's the one that taught you. I can't beautiful. Not play with Kofi.
That's beautiful.
Even if I wanted to. So we should all remember that about Bob and Jerry and Pig and all the other ones that passed. Phil, and, you know, like, we got to... Once that we're all vibrations, right? It's the philosophical part, but if they vibrated into us and we're vibrating it back to them and we're all like vibrating around together, you know, that doesn't stop. No. That's how we look at things. That's how we hear things. That's how we feel things, you know?
The the coming out party this past week of love and pride and deadheadness, or hey, make fun of me if I'm writing something sappy, make fun of me for crying. You know what? It's on you. Have at it. Here, cut. I'll cut. Enjoy the blood, you know? But honest to God, it's just this thing of like, there's something about the badge of being a deadhead that when something like this happens, man, it's somehow, I don't know what it, like it cauterizes that, like it magnifies and amplifies and multiplies the love for this music and the love for these guys and the love for you and the love for Jeff and Jay and each other, dude, each other. And
everybody, even the motherfuckers that want to hate us.
Oh, I know.
You can only make me an enemy. I refuse to make you mine.
Yeah.
You know, like love for that's all I got for you. I might be very, very pissed off at you.
Well,
and you might catch some of that, but you're never going to catch hate from me.
No.
I don't have it to give.
I've been thinking a lot about Bobby when he found out Jerry died, right? And they went up on stage that night and played the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom. That was a guy that he met when he was 16?
Yeah.
15, 16, and arm in arm from that point on changed the world.
Yeah.
And he's across the country in New Hampshire, and he knew the fans needed him. Like the fans needed he needed the music. What's he going to do? Sit in a room and cry? Like that's not for anybody. It's like all Bob knew was to keep going.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like Saint of Circumstance, right? Like, sure don't know what I'm going for, but I'm going to go for it for sure. I mean, it's right. The lyrics are in and that's the beautiful, this 300 message, and like, it has to go on. It needs to go. This is the stuff that's going to save the world, you know? Like.
It always has, man. That spirit of just love and like, man, y'all can do with whatever you want with this paradigm, wherever and whenever it is. But we're gonna do this, you know. Yeah. We're gonna love, and we're gonna go for broke, and whatever. Let our lives proceed by their own design, not your friggin' design.
Yep.
Well, I you know, I think Ram Dass's words are just so. You see that Don Watts thing?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Ram Dass nailed it so hard. You lit all of us and made us self-luminous beings, and then we carried it out and lit other people. That's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing, man. It never stops. The community goes on, you know.
Yeah. You know, I thought about that. I had this like lucid kind of thought the other day, a little kind of a meditative, psychedelic, whatever thought. And it was just all these like, you know, when someone's doing like, you know, needlepoint or something, there's all these little knots in the fabric that just make up this whole thing, and how you're a knot in the fabric, how, you know, Jeff and John and everybody, Tom Constanson and Pigpen and Jerry and all David Gans, like you name it, Big Steve, the folks that every deadhead out there, like
every
me,
freaking deadhead
everybody
out there,
we're all knotted into this. You know, the kid learning Ripple on his acoustic guitar because he sees his dad crying right now, like. Yeah. He's a knot in this thing. And I realized that the fabric just keeps grow. Like when you back away and look at it, it just keeps getting longer and bigger and stronger, because the more knots and the more everything tightens up, like and this thing, and built to last. I mean, it's such premonition.
Yeah. Music, I know. It's
right. Yes. All the messages have been there the whole time. Not fade away, built to last. You know,
it's a philosophy.
We're on our own. Yeah,
I've always said I can't wait to have Varun Soni on, man, that guy from UC Berkeley. this thing was what happened when people who all rejected the whatever identity that was handed to them. We can't help what we're born, you know. You just wake up a Muslim on whatever spectrum, wherever in that, and wherever particular kind of, I mean, you don't, you know, you have no idea. But in this culture, all these people that had just were like, you know, man, because they did those psychedelics, they were like, I'm not any of that, and I'm all of everything.
Yeah.
And then they just stirred it up and then just drank it. And this is what comes out is like who I am, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's like another religion. It took the place of all the things, all the identities and religion and politics, everything, and just said, no, but we have this impulse to make community and find meaning together. And then and so that's why it endures. It will endure. Jesus died a long time ago. And people will do messed up shit with this in Jerry's name. Some of them are already doing it, been doing it. But that real thing, that baby inside that bathwater, man.
Yeah.
That thing is what binds all those knots, and that's what makes it endure. That stuff is like a Levi, the old Levi's
the cow.
With a lifetime guarantee, bro.
The ones that never ripped. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good old Levi's, dude.
Good old
Levi Strauss. I'll tell you, I'll give you a funny example of this. I'm in the so this past 2 weeks, I went Houston, Atlanta, Orlando, home for a few days, licked my wounds, back to Atlanta to Knoxville. And second weekend in Atlanta, I did the Fox Theater with Ron White. Got the chance to meet Jeff Foxworthy. Like he was out at the show, but I invited our friend Tracy and Grateful Fred. Shout out to Grateful Fred. Steven and his wife Lisa came. Amazing people. He brought this big box of the Grateful Fred, familiar with these? They're like the decal. They're like badges that you like put on your car. They're beautiful.
Oh yeah, those are super cool,
buddy. They are amazing. And he brought me like a care package, and I'm like, I'm putting these things on everything in my house, right? So I get to the airport. Now, I'll tell you, I've been listening to Blue Mountain nonstop for some reason. The Bob album, right? I have it's got a special place in my heart, but I'm listening to it and walking through the airport at like 5 a.m. in Knoxville, and there's this guy sitting alone with a beat up Steal Your Face hat on, and he just looks kind of down and whatever. And I'm like, I want to go say something to him. I'm on no sleep. I'm completely shot. And I'm like, oh, I got these Grateful Fred badges, you know? So I open up my suitcase and I grabbed a sleeve of them and I walk over and I just put them on his lap and I go, here, brother, these are for you. I'm like, it's been a rough week. And he looks up and he goes, dude, wait, I got something for you. And he just opens up his backpack, dude, and in pure deadhead fashion, he pulls out like a Ziploc bag this big of like 700 mixed stickers that he made. And he just goes, take your pick, dude. It's all you. And he just like, you know, he's like, we got to help each other. And like, dude, immediately it was just, we both kind of got like teared up with like, how fucking awesome are we? You know, like just deadhead, man. Like you see somebody with that Steely or the Bear or anything, and you just know you can go up to them, and it's like finding like someone with the same blood type at the blood bank. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, dude, yeah, like,
all over the world.
Yeah, and it was just such a beautiful moment at an airport where everyone's miserable and I'm tired. I just want to go to sleep, and here we are, like, crying and hugging, and he's telling me about Mexico and telling me about the Sphere and you know, and I saw Jerry 31 times and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Bastard.
But it's just so funny to have that moment with like, I'm just so happy to love this music. I'm happy the music loves me. I don't know if that makes sense. 'Cause you hear stuff, right? All your life. And I think about that. Like I don't try to push the dead on anybody. You know, Jerry said it's like licorice. It's some people love it, some people hate it. I'm happy I love it because it really gave me a sense of curiosity as a child, a sense of adventure as a child, a sense of belonging. Like if I
Yeah.
ever had the chance to thank Bob for one thing, it would be, or Trey or you, or thank you for giving me something to do. Thank you for
Yeah.
giving me something to love and something to look forward to and something to follow. And
That's exactly what music was for me. I'm so glad this is recorded because I'm going to just go back and transcribe that. Because that's how I feel about the whole thing. Music gave me something to do, something to love, be inspired by, something to follow,
yeah,
something to try to like figure out, just something to work on. You know, you grow up in Southeast Washington, it's like bananas.
yeah,
And then you go in the music room and you put the phones on and you work them and everything becomes like all of a sudden the earth makes sense.
yes, right,
You know?
right. Yeah. And I've always been happy to be on this side of it with music, you know, where
Any side, but yeah, my dad that was his religion. That's how me and Kofi got this way. That was his, you know.
yeah,
He was like, if I'm gonna be here on earth, man, this is it, and helping other people.
I just love listening
You know?
to you guys, man, and what it does for us and what it does to know what it does for you guys. That's another thing I think that's so important about this community. No one's questioning. No one's phoning it in when it comes to this music. You're up there giving it your all. You're feeling what we're feeling. You're smiling when we're smiling. You know, you laugh, we laugh. Someone misses a note, we all kind of giggle and go, "Oh, whoops, we're human," you know, and it's this like perfect imperfection that we all do together. And I feel bad for people who don't experience that. I really do. I
didn't for so many decades. I think it was like maybe I just had to mature enough. Maybe it's a timing thing, or the orbit is so strong. It pulled me in long before I really, you know, it started in grade school, really, you know, but that kind of gravity, you get sucked in eventually. You know, you're gonna.
Can't fight it.
I
Dude.
mean, Miles Davis social media is official thing account. You know, I mean, Miles is gone, but these are his people. You know, like posting about Bob, like all my jazz heroes, man. The ones that, you know, like Ron Carter, like all the heaviest jazz guys, man. Cats that I didn't even know had played with Bob, Terrence Blanchard and all these cats that none of these fans would even know. I was like, damn, Terrence Blanchard. Well, of course Terrence Blanchard played because Bob loves jazz. And anybody that wasn't going to stick their nose up at him, you know.
Yeah.
And it's always the coolest jazz guys, too, by the way. You know?
Yeah. Ron Carter and
I mean, you know, like
Alfonso.
It doesn't get any cooler than
Alfonso Johnson, like,
and
all
it's
the guys
just like
yeah,
man, it's so I got pulled into the orbit. It's like, you know, when a comet's going past Jupiter, it might get sucked into it.
Hey, that's a good solar wave.
Yeah, man, I'm so grateful. Jeez, man, I've said it before.
You've got such a singular experience in this, like, you know, to peel back a minute, like the Allman Brothers, the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, two Mount Rushmore improvisational bands that didn't have many casual fans. You know what I mean? Like you were in in families. And
they're both born in psychedelics. I mean, that, you know, that whole thing was part of the reason that they went. You know, I mean, these guys are traveling around.
Yeah.
1969 with J-Mo and long hair. I mean, without J-Mo, just the long hair was not going to go over. You know, you know, and that mushroom, I got that mushroom tattoo from, you know, I believe in that stuff, man. There's a unifying thing there, an expanded consciousness, and how it talk about let your life proceed by its own design. I didn't know anything, but, you know, how did we end up here? We ended up here because we had the same philosophy, basically. You know, I'm kind of glad I wasn't into it, because it's just like religion. I wasn't raised in church. I wasn't raised in I wasn't indoctrinated by any of it. It was just like, I didn't really understand it. I just know everybody did it, but my parents didn't. And so then when I had my psychedelic experience, my paranormal experience, then I dove into it. So now I get to look at it and study it completely objectively. Same thing with Allman Brothers, same thing with Grateful Dead. And what I found was something unbelievable and life-changing. It's like, oh, that's why it's so important and enduring and popular and will never go away. And now I know why. Right. Because I came totally from the outside. There was nothing for me to identify with long-haired, tattooed white guys, you know, from the almond bread from Macon, Georgia, or freaking, you know, they look like bikers who want to kill me. That's what my sister thought. You know? She's like, "Oh, Tio, really?" And you say, I was like, J-Mo's the first one in the band. What are you talking about? And then she saw Dwayne playing with Aretha, you know, and Wilson Pickett and all that. And she was like, wow, you know, we all got educated about it. So I'm kind of glad, really, you know, and glad that I was older, actually, to come in for the last 10 years, you know, of this episode of it, you know, at least especially for Bob and Bill now, you know, and Mickey and J-Mo are the last two guys out there able to get up and get behind the kit. Yes, it's crazy, man. It's wild.
I thought about that a lot with you, where it's like these institutions, right? Like, had a lot of faith in you. And a lot of belief and a lot of probably unspoken, like, of course, Oteil, because
that's the beginning since Colonel Bruce. They're like, well, the hippies like us, you know. I mean, that's, you know, nobody else got it.
It's weird, man.
And really, most of the hippies didn't. It was just because of Trey, and, you know. And Fish Widespread and Blues Traveler, you know, they were just like Dave Matthews. They were like, these are the guys.
Yeah, the Wetlands pack, kind of.
Yeah, thank you, Peter Shapiro. You know, man, like people saw it. And then I'm like, wow, you knew this about me before. Like, so when I got here, they're like, yeah, you know, that's our guy. It's just so crazy.
Wild, Oteil.
So crazy, man.
I think about that stuff so much with everything, where it's like, you know, well, like the honor I currently have with sharing the stage with Ron White, right? Like he would choose anybody in the world to have with him. And I'm like, what on earth? How did that happen? But then it's like, and I'm not comparing to you in no way, but it's this thing of like, when you said it with Shapiro, you're like, they knew about it before I did. That's what I'm sticking with right there.
They saw it in us.
Yeah. And I'm kind of like, okay, sure. Yeah, thank you.
Dude, when you called me, you FaceTime me, and I couldn't get the phone right then, and you're like, hey, Ron White wants to, you know, say, hey, I was like, oh, shit, man. I've loved him since before the ayahuasca. Yes. Now, like, you know, like, when I found out he did, I was like, oh, what? Here we go. And then we get on the phone, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now I got no bus to get on. You're rolling down the road with Ron White, just you and him. You know, it's so funny. Like, we just switched places. And he goes, hey, man, I'm going to tell you, there's only two kinds of music that exist. And I'm thinking, yeah, he's going to say good music and bad music. I don't care what kind it is, you know. And he's like, Allman Brothers music and everything else. You know? And I'm thinking, I cannot be having this moment right now. I've been watching this guy say, you know, decades. You know?
Yeah. And I'm holding the phone. I'm holding the phone for him to say that to you. And he was so happy that he was like, can we call him? And I'm like, yeah. Because we were talking about you. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just like, man, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And that's how I know there's absolutely no way it's not going to go on. Why do you think they called us?
I know.
Why do you think he put you on his bus? You are him, and whatever he believes and his heart and his philosophy and his wit, all in mind, body, and spirit. He knows that's going to go on with you. And he's making sure of it. Like he knows anyway, even if he doesn't put you on stage with him. But he's like, no, I'm gonna put it in stone right here. Like, this is my guy. Here's how it's gonna go on down the road. Aren't you lucky? Like, man, that's why I always try to put these young musicians on stage with me.
Well, I was just about to say
Dave Lehman and Lara Swass and whoever, when I hear them, Taz back in the day, Derek back in the day,
Yeah.
Like this is how we do it.
Right. And they said Oteil next because you know what? Oteil is going to play a different version of the Dead's music until he plays his last note. So they know they invested in you because you are going to carry that music for the rest of your life. And you know what? Seeing these kids play with you, you're handing it to them. You're tying another knot in that quilt.
Yeah, that's how we do it. I'm going to try to tie a bunch of knots.
We're fishermen right now sitting on that boat. Dude, it's just any little way that we can carry the music on, This
is what I got from what Jesus said. See, I'm not coming to people about Jesus from some pre-programmed whatever. He said, I'm a fisher of men. That's what he meant. These things are just, they're universal, man.
Yeah.
They are truths. Not this kind of truth or that kind of truth or that kind of truth. They are truths. It's all in nature, man.
You're right.
That fisher net, man.
Yeah. I know.
They cast the net like this, so wide. Every single friggin' one of them. Billy, Mickey, Bob, Phil. I love seeing all these pictures of all the people that they tapped, It's like knighting someone, the Knights of the Round Table. Yeah. You go on,
Yeah.
That's Sir Rob Baracco, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just so you know, man.
Yeah.
Just so you know, like.
You're right. This morning I woke up to watch a heavy metal version of Throwing Stones from J-Rad. And I'm like, yes.
Go.
Literally like a shot of HGH into, one of my favorite songs. And they are, Joe Russo, Sir Joe Russo, dude. God, he's put a badge on. It's the best, man. It's the absolute
Let's come up
best.
with another thing that's like the hippie analog of knighting somebody, where you mushroom somebody. I don't know. Like you're the comedian. I know you'll figure out.
Let me think about it first.
Because that's what I want to. I want to run with that. And in that same vein, I want to shout out this band Club Delph because they have elf in the name. The elf. So Mike Rivard, man, he plays that old African. They call it either a synthesizer or an ngoni bass, and they do birdsong.
Ooh,
and they do. I think it's a New Speedway Boogie. We were packing stuff up, and I said, "Jess, you recognize this?" But it sounds like African. It sounds like this other thing, and then you go, "Oh wow, that's birdsong." It's so cool, man.
That's awesome,
and that's
dude.
one of the other. This thing just fans out. I want to do like an upright. Like jazz take where I'm not even playing the bass because I don't play upright like Call Christian McBride.
Yeah.
I'll just sing it,
Yeah. Like, hey, you know what? Why not? Last night I'm shoveling snow and listening to Tales from the Golden Road, our friends Gary Lambert and David Gans, and they were speaking to, and I'm not even going to try his name, but the composer that he's a professor at Stanford, and he did all the orchestral stuff with Bob, and indirectly said, like, please let me know if there's anything I could do to keep this going, because this was a lot of work, and we know if anything, Bob would want this to keep going. He wants other musicians to play this music, and he said some of the stuff, dude, it was so cool. This composer cared so much about doing this Project Justice, that he would listen to like middle of a 71 Dark Star jam and chart it and give it to the cello player.
Yeah.
And the cello player would put in like just a thing that happened once in 71 for 30 seconds into a piece that's being played in 2024 by a symphony. There was a moment where a violinist, or I think a violinist, a young girl by the name of Cassidy, played the violin solo in Cassidy. And her deadhead parents that named her Cassidy were there to watch her play it with Bob. I mean, those are the things that this music does.
How did their parents feel? You don't believe in magic?
Right.
Try being them right then.
Yep.
And tell me it's not real.
And that's the thing that, like, you know, as not religious as I am, I hate to say that Grateful Dead has been like it's a pet that never dies. It's a dog that lives forever. You know, it never hurt me. It stayed with me. It's been my, like, when I'm alone in Colorado, unpacking my place, trying to start over, it's my friend that I can turn to. When I'm on the road alone, it's the voices I know. It's the people it's the music has just always been my best friend. And from the first time I heard it, and we became better friends this week, you know?
Yeah. Old friendships, you realize.
This stuff
when
just
I see
appears.
Sype again, and when I see Jimmy Herring again, and when I see Trey again, and when I see these people I've gone back so far with, man.
Yeah.
Like 89, 88, with Jimmy and Sype before then even.
Yeah.
You know, but people we've been on these long journeys with, you do, man, the friendship, you realize, you look at old pictures of when you're just young kids, we had no idea what we were doing. We didn't know we were doing that. I mean, we were doing it. I knew I was doing it, but I didn't know, you know, however it would be looked at or be able to look at it that way myself. From a distance of, 30 years or whatever now. You know, it's so deep, man. Jesus, it's so deep.
Well, we did the Fox Theater this past, Friday, and I walk into the theater. Now, the homework I always do before doing these theaters is I look up what Dead shows were there, maybe what Fish shows, what Almond shows, my guys, Little Feet. And I listened to the shows that were played in that room leading up to that week.
You can do that with this kind of music. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah, I got 4 songs through today. But so I did my homework with some Fox Theater, phenomenal 77 show. I sent it to you actually. 80 show, all this. And I walk into the theater and through the stage door, the back stage door, and right there to the left is a framed picture of Colonel Bruce with the chair sitting underneath it. And it says, play it hot for Atlanta over it or whatever. And they had a little plaque for Colonel Bruce. And I walk in and I go, there he is. And this amazingly kind woman comes out of the office. I love people that work at theaters, dude. They're the best. Man. They're the best. And she goes, do you know the Colonel? And I'm like, well, indirectly. I'm like, kind of, I don't know, I do and I don't. And we talked about you and she goes, I'll be right back. And she runs up to her office and she comes down with a copy of the book, Jerry Grillo.
Yeah, Grillo.
And she goes, I'm best friends with him. She goes, let me take a picture. And I go, we had him on the podcast and like whatever, and whatever. And he wrote back, I love Mike. Tell him I said hi. And I FaceTimed you. And I'm looking through the book and there's like, 19, 20-year-old O'Teal, right? How old were you when you got going?
24 when I
24. I mean, just young face. You're like popping your head around a corner of a stairway and it's like little Jimmy Herring and little Jeff. And I'm just like, and now I'm standing here where he had that crazy last moment, and it's just the circles that we kind of all like. It's
sit in that chair at your home peril. You better have a seat belt if you sit in that chair.
I saw some people sitting in the chair.
There's somebody like, I'll be right back. Someone's in the chair.
His alarm went off. Well, look, someone's in the chair. I made a reference to the ghosts that hang out in that room. I said it. You know, I'm like, these are the cool ghosts. These are the ones that you want.
He canceled a gig when we were poor. We needed the money, and then got us on the list at least to see Bobby Blue Bland there.
Oh,
and Wayne Bennett was still alive. So that you know, that's. We saw him there. I mean, the spirits that have passed through that room. Woo! Oh,
some of these places, man, you can really feel it, and
woo, yes, you can. Well, the vibrations. I mean, we everything vibrates, so I'm gonna leave my vibrations in this deck. It makes perfect sense to me that someone has the psychic sense to pick up things from a physical object that was owned or loved by another. Like,
yeah,
that just seems like a no-brainer to me. But you know,
no, of course. I mean, I heard Trey talk about how like even his guitar, just like it catching the vibrations from the room and it strengthens the wood. It makes it like it weathers. It's like, you know, like
which means the love from the audience.
Yes, man.
Is doing
the sweat,
that.
Everything. Yeah. I mean, I want to do that stage honor, you know what I mean? Like, and it may sound cheesy, but like, I want to go up there and.
I have been, bro. When we played the band shell in Memphis, you walk in the dressing room. There's Elvis in 55, right? Oof. Every legendary blues, country, rock and roll. The picture's there, and there's a big, the biggest picture of all. I'm pretty sure is Allman Brothers. I think it was like right before the Fillmore, like a day or two, like days before the Fillmore. Right? Bonnie Raitt, she looks like she's 19, you know, and you just like, the more you go through the dressing room, you're like, I literally said, I was like, I shouldn't be here.
Right.
I literally did. I was like, I shouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was beautiful because everybody in the band was looking around like, oh shit. It's just, you know, Freddie King, like in his prime. You don't want that smoke, man.
No.
Like all these people like in their prime. Yeah. And I'm going out here at like, you know, 60, 59, you know, shuffle on out there. We had one of the best shows we ever had. I mean, I think we did a Dark Star that completely Colonel Bruce left the planet.
Oh, wow.
Naturally by itself, just out to the Jupiter, right? And I was like, afterwards, I was like, all right. As far as our intention, we left it all in the ring. We may not measure up to all these other things.
Yeah.
But you know, it made the band rise. I'm sure it does the same thing for you. You're just like,
100%.
I gotta bring it tonight.
Well, you know, it's funny because Jay Okerson and I talked about this a lot, and he would go, I just want to make the staff laugh because they hear everything. They hear everything and they've heard every joke. And if you see the staff laughing, you know you're doing a good job, right? So at these theaters, you know, I'm going up and it's pitch black. I get spotlight in my eyes. I'm more performing to the people who have performed there before, if that sounds right. I mean, I go out there and I look at the stage and I'm like, Jerry stood there. Keith's piano was there. Billy was there, Mickey was there, and I'm like, I could stand right here, like right in the middle, you know. And it's just like, and I feel like I'm kind of like looking over the lights and just kind of like sticking my piece of gum on that desk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this, I don't know. Sometimes they go, here, sign the wall, and I'm like, no, me, forget it. Like that's just Frank Sinatra right there. Like I'm not gonna, you know, like, but you're right.
He's gone now, and there's new knits in the
That's right.
fabric. There's
That's
new
right.
knots in the fabric that need to be. They're like, tie that knot, man. They
Yep.
want me to sign Cap Theater every time we play there. And you
Special.
just, you know,
Yeah.
walk up the stairwell to the top dressing room and see who played there.
I know.
You know, and like whatever. You're just like,
You're like, okay. All right.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we have to sign it.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
They
You
asked
really
us to
do.
come for some reason, so that's all I could do is like go. Honestly, I'm just answering the call,
Yeah.
and I am doing the best that I can. I feel about this big compared to my heroes.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, this is what I got from mine, and I hope it inspires someone to at least that light that candle and keep it going forward. And it has. People have come up to me. They're like, man, you know, even in Grateful Dead, because it was a decade, there's a lot of people that are like, the only Dead I ever saw live. Of course, you can listen to all of it, like with the Allman Brothers. We can all, thank God, we can always. But a lot of people, that's the only Allman Brothers they ever saw was with me in it. That was when they hopped on. And even with Dead Company, you know, I'm so honored that we were able to get some new fans.
Of course.
But they hopped on, and that's what they know is with me. And, you know, of course I'm going to go. Man, go listen to 68, you know, at the Shrine, August 24th.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Catch that new potato caboose.
Well, I gotta say, man, and it's just so unbelievably beautiful that we had the Sphere era, or whatever you want to call it, the Sphere.
Because that was after the final tour.
Yeah. But also,
everybody should keep that in mind. The final tour happened 3 years ago. So what about that? You know,
there's no final in forever. You know, and the thing that was
fade away.
Yeah. But you know, like for all of us, man, young, old, first time, last time, whatever, seeing that room filled with the stuff that you saw when you closed your eyes and listened in your room, and now it was on a beautiful state-of-the-art dome, and there's a turtle flying by, and there's the motorcycle and the everything, and Jerry sitting in the corner watching, and it was just, what an unbelievably phenomenal gift to Deadheads, that, albeit expensive, but it was a phenomenal gift to be able to go there and say, like, that was the experience that you capped your maybe whatever with. Like young, I saw people that were like, I mean, in wheelchairs, walkers, like just pilgrimages to the Sphere, and how great you guys did that, and the sound and everything, and Mickey shaking the entire place.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so, what a beautiful fourth quarter, we'll call it, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, to see
Bob was like, he was right there, man.
Yes.
That was it. Grateful Dead 60 was the last. You know, but Bob was just like, you know, he was having such a hard time. You know, at the Sphere, he was there, and we did it.
You did
again,
it, man.
You know, like, it's like, you're right, man. We're so lucky.
I was so blessed to have that time. The minute I found out that you guys had dates, I'd book myself at the Comedy Cellar, and I would do the first set of the first show and the last set of the last show, and I'd race there, and I would hang out with you in between, and we would, you know, and then I'd run back with like a skip in my step and do my other spot, and it was just anything to get, you know, but I was always happy to know all week long there would be good people in Vegas. You know, there'd be like heads hanging out, there'd be tie-dyes, you can like stop and just strangers stopping strangers, you know, it's all
remember when
true.
We had a moment where we were racing together. We were racing to go see the wrestling, the AEW. And then they came and got me like, all right, Teal, you got to go in the state. I was like, we got 20 more minutes. Get out of here. It's right down the street. You know, we're just trying to fit it in, man. That's life. That's living, folks.
That really
That's
is,
like
dude.
Live like in 6 months. Man, if I could just catch this much of it, you know, I'm going to get it.
That's how I was. I was like, I could go tell jokes and, well, I'll stick around for the first half of Stella Blue. And then, but it was Yeah, you squeezed in whatever you could, man. It's food.
Yeah, it is. It's spiritual food, man. That's what we got to be for each other. Like, people are like, so many people, and it's funny, like, well, it's not funny. People are sending me these little notices that, to me, they're really memes, but it looks like, Dead and Company's talking about, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, if you didn't see this on Dead and Company's actual site, like, why would you even think this is real,
Yeah.
But that's how it's like, it's always like, what's next? What's next? People, I don't know, but I didn't know what was going to happen after the Allman Brothers ended.
Yep.
And then I started playing with Dead and Company. And then we had the final tour. And then we went and did the Sphere. And then went and did it again. And then we did Grateful Dead 60. So, yep. I mean, like...
yeah. Be happy you were there. Yeah. Exactly.
And no, the sun always comes up again. Jesus died a long time ago. So did Muhammad. So did Buddha. So did Moses.
So did Jerry.
These things keep going on. All these great jazz musicians, man. Louis Armstrong died a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Miles, not as long, but a long time. It keeps going. Jazz isn't over.
No.
And you can go see, and this is just like that. This is a music that will last as long as jazz or classical. Beethoven died a long time ago. This is on that level. It's not going away.
Well, and also teach it to someone else, like take it and you pass it on to, or take it and we've got these amazing devices in our pockets now where you can listen to any show from any time, 10 different versions of it. You can download it. You can go take a walk in the woods and play that show you never listened to, or go listen to some, there's no way you've heard all of it. So I pick a show I haven't, I have a TV that basically is just a speaker for music. Like I pretty much just play music through my TV. I turn on, I put on the speaker and it just plays all day. And I try to listen to stuff I haven't listened to, or stuff that meant the most to me and I maybe haven't listened to it in a while or whatever. And, I've been stuck on Blue Mountain lately, this album, because
another friend of mine too.
When I was going through that really tough time, that album kind of really was important to me. And I did that, I did a big mushroom trip, and it was near a river, and I wrote down all my intentions and I tore them up and threw them into the river before I did it that day. And the sound of the river was there to be cleansing and all of that. And it was one of the more transformative moments of my life. And I got in the car to drive home late, hours and hours and hours later. And I turned my phone on and just put on like a random shuffle, and Only a River was the song that came on. And that was on Bob's birthday, that trip that I did. Wow. So all these things that kind of like, I didn't need a band to be there for that moment. It finds you, you find it, you play this music, go support the local Dead cover band. They're all going to be in high demand nowadays. And, so you guys will figure out what you're going to do when you're going to do it. You'll do what Oteil and Friends is going to do. You've already been doing it. And I think it's just everybody right now is sad and scared, and, it's hard, man. It's hard.
It is hard, man. I found out yesterday, and it's funny because I just started, Jimmy Rector, he asked me, he said, can you recommend some ECM records for me, that you said were the inspiration? It's this label called ECM, a jazz label.
Got it.
And I had said in interviews and stuff that was the inspiration that for Lovely View of Heaven. He's like, dude, there's so many records on the same, like, can you pick some out for me? So I picked some out and he made a playlist. And then I started listening to the stuff that I had recommended to him again. He's like, if you just want to shuffle through it. And I, got back to Ralph Towner, who's one of my favorites. He's like a classical guitarist that learned jazz and mixed it all up and plays like this banjo-ish 12-string, like finger picking, crazy classical jazz harmony. It's just like, I was like, oh, that's why I got into banjo. You know, like I've been listening to music so much more and all this stuff when I was young.
Yeah.
And then on the plane home from Bob, I get on, and Matt Mundy from Aquarium Rescue Unit posted, Ralph Towner died today.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, oh, man. He was 85.
Yeah.
But I just was like, oh,
geez.
Oh, man. I remember when Colonel Bruce told me that he knew Ralph Towner, and I was like, oh, he's full of shit. He don't know Ralph Towner and John Abercrombie. And this is all the stuff that is on this playlist that I've been listening to again in the last, 4 days, along with Grateful Dead, really young. I'm just going back to this stuff that made me play music, and then, boom, Ralph Towner go just like that. On the plane back from Bob's, and I just am like, it's not going to stop. But wow, how grateful am I? I got to meet him because of Colonel Bruce. We all went to see him play at Blues Alley, and everybody in the band, Jimmy Herring, Matt Mundy, Jeff Sipe, we were like, and then he was like, man, I can't wait to come see your gig. We were like, please don't come see us play. We were so not worthy at all. Yeah. And I got to have that moment, and he comes back, man, God, it was great, man, all the crazy, silly shit we were doing. He loved all that stuff. I got to meet my hero, man. This is my guy. And then he passed, yes, I'm just like, phew. I'm so grateful, man. I'm so grateful. I'm going to listen to all that. I've been listening to so much Dead. Yeah, I told you just 70s and 80s Dead. I just like hearing them young, man.
It's the greatest, man.
I like hearing them young. Their voices, to hear Bob's voice young, and the way Billy's, he has this, just all of it, man. Phil,
It's just so, it's somehow like listening to 10 bands in one. You know what I mean?
Because I know them all. I don't really know Jerry older. You know what I mean? I know Phil and Billy.
Yeah.
And right. Bob and Mickey as old. So when I hear that, it's like, I'm like, that's them. But it's not the guys that it's so cathartic for me. I don't know, man.
Buddy, there's a new release that's out. I don't know how new, but it's Mother McCree's Uptown Jug Champions, and it's Jerry, Pig, and Bobby.
Yeah.
And it's them just in a coffee shop playing, jug music. And it's just, you can hear the predecessor to their on stage kind of free flowing pre-psychedelics. It's maybe they were hitting a joint before and reading Kerouac to each other.
Almost certainly.
I mean, it was before it all. And then, but just to hear how young and how, that's what they were when they started. And it's just so insane to think, you look at the outpouring of love from NFL rookies right now.
Yeah.
I mean, hip hop moguls that are, it's just, this thing is bigger than I think anybody even knew. And it's so nice to see.
The Heads knew back in the day. They knew in here. Not how, but they knew it's like a true North thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What made me tear up was Trey Anastasio's tribute, because he said
great.
He first saw him when he was 16, and then he was on stage with him for the last time. Think about that, right? How nuts of a
dreams
and all the
people.
Yeah.
You can't even imagine. That's what I think about so many people that were have followed this thing, and it was their spiritual food for so many more decades than me. I'm so honored to have played an important part in the whole thing. But when I think about, it's just unfathomable, And I can go, I remember when I texted Jay Blakesberg, I was just like, wow, man. I'm like, I'm so sorry for your loss, And I know people that go, obviously all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've talked to a few of them.
Yeah, man. I saw Rose at the Warfield, you know? Rose Solomon, we share a birthday. She works with Nikki.
Mm.
I mean, it's just, you know, it's unbelievable how big the sadness is, but how much balm there is for everyone in that bigness, because it's all of us together. Like you walking up to that guy in the airport, you know, there's that, as big as that hurt is, that's how big the healing is, because
it's
of
responsibility. Yeah. Well, we didn't have to have this time, you know. They could have very easily packed it in when Jerry left, and everybody would have had tons of money and tons of this and tons of that, taking care of their kids, whatever. But the music had to go on, and then it still does. If everybody stopped now because Bob left, that wouldn't be.
Yeah,
it's just not right, and it can't be. And the kid that's playing guitar with you, who is an absolute virtuoso,
he's just channeling. He's
gonna carry it.
He is. You know, I mean, it's already.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call him that kid. I forget his name, but he was the sweetest kid in the world.
You know, Jaden Lehman.
Jaden, oh my God, I love him.
If me and Mayor and Kameni and Jay Lane and Mickey and all died in the plane crash all at once, still going on, man. It's going on in all these other people. And it's in good hands. It's in good hands, people. I think.
It's in yours, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna.
And you got two good hands right there, bud.
I'm alive. You know, it's just like, you know, all the guys in the band after Jerry dies, like, we're still alive. It's time to play right now. Oh, look, we're alive. It's time to play. So yeah, it's in very, very good hands, and it's going to continue. I see it already. You know, when Butch passed, then I became the head of Roots Rock Revival. Now I'm the patriarch. It's like, wait a minute, I'm sleeping in his cabin. You know, where him and Melinda used to, and me and Jess are in there with our kids. It's like, it's just wow. But then as I sit there at the head of that, I see me being gone. You know, the older you get, you start, you're like, oh, this isn't going to stop. Your awareness of people dying grows. Yeah. And then more of the people closer to your age start dying, or your heroes. And then it gets closer to you, some are your age. And then all of a sudden it's your turn.
Yeah.
You know, it's very quick. I mean, you know, I have 19 years till I'm 80. 19 years ain't a long time, bro. I started Dead & Company 10 years ago. And that went like that. Now Nigel's going to be driving my freaking car in 4 years. What? What? 4 years? You know how fast 4 years is.
Yeah. Well, of course.
And he's going to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. It goes fast, people. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. The thing that's always there is the one thing we're guaranteed is that it ends. And it's just how, when we're here, how we define it, or how we let it define us, or how we let it feed us or starve us, or that's the only thing we can do, is how we adapt to losing the ones we love, losing the things we, you know, to a lot of people, the Grateful Dead was their only family that they've ever had.
Yeah.
And they are, right now mourning holidays, right? Every show was like a Christmas or a New Year's or a Thanksgiving, because they got to see their family again. So they're like, where do I go to see my family? But now it's, you know, we have to go keep that thing going and keep it alive. And like you said, you know, I mean, it's you're coming home from one memorial and you find out yet another hero passes on, and but the music lives. And
it does, man.
That is something with aging, where it's, you know, Jerry was 53, dude. Jerry was 53.
I thought about it all the time because I got the gig at 50.
Right?
You know, I thought about it all the time.
He was 53, and
Yeah.
I mean, he gave his life to everybody, and it was still, he's the one that we have to thank for all of it. But it's like, man, you get older and you lose people and you lose friends and whatever. But it's this thing of kind of like make the days count.
Yeah,
Make
Bob said it. He said, you know, death is a reward for a life well lived. So if you can keep death close, because and you should, we've said it countless times on Come to Time.
Yep.
That you don't know when your hour is. How you respond to that. Hopefully not in fear, but more like, you know, just what if? Because it's a real hypothetical. What if? That's why we picked 6 months. Like, okay, let's not be so drastic. We would just go around the 24 hours. Okay, fuck you. Fuck you. Like, not about that. You know?
You get a carton of cigarettes and a middle finger.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, eat all the ice cream and do heroin or whatever. I don't know. You know, just like, but let's respond not, you know, in a positive way. Like, how's it gonna? What are you gonna do differently? And I mean, I can't think that that's anything but a positive.
Of course,
if you can at the moment. You know?
I'll tell you one of the things from a unexpected place. Men's Health magazine put out a thing as a tribute to Bob, and they said what he said was the keys to a healthy life were 3 things: to live a life full of purpose, meditate, and exercise.
Yeah, he's all those Bob workouts. They probably love that.
But I mean, think about that. That's like live a life full of purpose is the biggest thing, because how many people are just living in existence, scared that they have to keep doing what you know they have to do to kind of keep the wheel moving and blah blah blah. And
I mean, our paradigm has kind of brainwashed them to do it. It's very much encouraged it.
Exactly.
It's not just no by accident.
Right.
Or naturally occurring.
Right.
Not at all.
No, of course not. And then to meditate and just take that time to be in the moment, and then to give your body the respect that it deserves by exercising. And it's like, you know, people
look at the design of our bodies. You know, I love seeing robots. Because you realize how amazing a body is.
Could be, underneath all.
You know what I mean? It's like, I just look at my body as like pulley system.
Yeah.
Lever, you know, I can do things to lever. It's just like, the design is insane.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, wow. We shouldn't just cram as many toxins, just, you know. There's a lymph system. Let me, you know, just cram as much horrible chemicals into my, you know, like.
Yeah. And treat your soul that way, right? Don't cram it full of bad thoughts. Don't cram it full of self-hate. Don't cram it full of, you know, meditate. Let it all get out.
If you live a life of purpose, that will, because now you're focused on something that is a good purpose.
Yep.
And the meditation is for all the crap that's going to come your way that you cannot stop, because it's got to rain and hail and freeze and all the things, you know, spiritually speaking.
Yep.
And the body, so we don't wear out physically from all the mental and spiritual stuff that is trying to take us
to check
down.
all the boxes. It's very simple. And it's like,
it's nature.
You can't focus on your path, on your purpose, if you're sluggish and tired and not rested and your mind's going crazy, you know. So you take care of the mind, take care of the body, take care of the goal. And that's a life, like he said to us, a life well lived. It's a reward. You get to the end and you go, I did it. Made a lot of people happy. I did the right things, and what you work on will go on forever.
Yeah. Boy, did they do it, man.
Well, as a lover of the music and as a lover of you, Oteil, I want to say for all of us, thank you. And I also want to say we're all very happy that it's in your hands. as well as others. Not to put it all on you, but you know what I mean.
No,
Your
I know
hands
what
are
you mean. It's
your
like,
hands are some of the hands, but
yeah, there are
we're
two of
excited
them.
for what's next.
There are
So,
two of them, and my 2 feet. My feet are gonna keep dancing, dude, to making these grooves, man. This
Yep.
is it's more than anything, and I'm gonna cry and grieve too, but celebration's still gonna be above it, man. Even while I'm crying, I'm still gonna be celebrating. I'm still gonna be dancing.
Yeah.
Still gonna be grooving. Still trying to find those intervals that make your heart go, oh, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
We got to celebrate, folks, and we should, because, man, all the people that got to see the Grateful Dead in the 70s and 80s when I was too young and too stupid. Woo! Thank God for all these videos, man. How lucky were you guys, man?
yeah.
How lucky. You know, they always say we're lucky to be alive at the same time, man. That is the friggin' truth, man.
Yeah,
So,
really
and I want to say, for me personally, and all the band members, original, and all the people that they tapped, thank you, and all the other fans out there, because it means nothing without that. That really is the purpose. Yeah, you could sit in a room and do it with nobody, just in the garage, just for each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the real magic, you can't just keep it in there. That's not what it's for.
Right.
That's not what it's for. It's so we can all do the thing together. So, yeah. Thank you, man. And I'm so glad we met each other, man.
Me too.
And so glad that we even have this to, like, even talk, because there's fans that need this. You know?
Absolutely. I needed it.
Me
it.
Too,
and I need it more. I need it more.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
I really do.
And there's going to be more.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Not fade away is the that's what we believe in.
Yeah. It is. It is. It is. And you know, I want to say one thing too about how I look at you up there dancing and moving. And Oteil, don't ever forget about the times that you had to sit on that stool. You're moving around, and I mean, you're in phenomenal shape. And you look back to those times where you had to sit. I mean, I remember talking to you at Red Rocks, and it was bitter cold, and you were sitting, and it was like your back was killing you. And, you know, you're up, we watch you. You start moving, dude. You show up on those screens, everybody starts moving and dancing. So just know how much you're loved. I know you do, but just know. And I'm happy to see my friend not sitting on a stool and, you know, up moving around, and, you know, we'll thank DDP for that. So,
hey, a shout out to Diamond Dallas Page, man, for real, man. And it makes me so happy to see you two, dude. When you, like, getting that call from you on the bus with Ron White was just like, wow, man, these dreams are coming true, and we're gonna lean into it, man.
I love you very much, dude.
Love you too, dude, and love all of you out there.